welcome back to my channel. Hallie here with Trail of Cars. We're talking about kids and social media. And this is again one of those things I'm pretty passionate about, and I really feel like I practice what I preach when I say this. If you don't have kids, I do think it's still something to really think about other kids in your own life. Like, think about this. Facebook went active in 2003 or 2004. And by 2005, it exploded. I don't know the exact numbers on this and when this happened, but I do know that by 2010, when my oldest son was born, my mom had a Facebook, my dad had a Facebook, my father-in-law had a Facebook. It wasn't just for college students at that point like it used to be. And I think that's really worth noting because it exploded. And Facebook can be a really awesome tool. I have many times said, I just want to delete my Facebook. And the only reason I haven't is because that's where 99% of the homeschool information comes from. The local homeschool events come from Facebook. If I didn't have Facebook, I would have no idea those things are happening. That's pretty much the only reason I keep my Facebook. Because it's a time suck, and we could go on and on about moms and social media. But this is about kids. So just a little story on why I bring this up. A few years ago, a family friend posted a play-by-play of her child's potty training adventure. A family member, we'll call him Joe for this. Joe called them out on it and said, "Why in the world are you posting about your child going to the bathroom? Nobody wants to see that. Wait, this is nuts." Well, it caused a huge rift between the family friend and Joe because he called them out on it. And I do see a lot of those things online of, honestly, to me, the principle comes down to, would you post that about yourself? Would you post, "Oh, I went to the bathroom today, took a picture of it"? No, although I'm sure it's happened. We post, we as a collective society post often every move our children make. Is that good for them? Is it good for their potential employers to see all of that online? To see your meltdowns and your, it's a lot. And I know a lot of people use Facebook as an album, as a way to show family and friends your kids. But there's also private groups in Facebook that you can create to tell your family members, "Hey, I posted a picture in the group." Because it is an easy way to communicate with a lot of people. But you're also not just showing those pictures to your family members, you're showing them to the world. And Facebook says that your things are private and they don't use them, but do y'all remember a couple years ago when they got hacked and all that information went everywhere? And your Instagram stories, they delete after 24 hours. But do they? Not saying I'm a conspiracy theorist, but my oldest came to me about a year ago, and he asked me how much of his life is on Facebook. After that point, we agreed that I would ask him before I posted him online. I think that's really important, to respect people's privacy when they don't want to be on the internet. And yes, I have this channel and my kids are occasionally on it, but he also knows when he's on it, and he knows when he's put out there on social media. Anytime you see him online, it's because he chose to be there. And granted, younger kids can't really make that decision, and they don't know the magnitude of it, and neither does he, frankly. It's their life. And yes, they're there. They are your children, and you want to share all the wonderful things they're doing. And I don't think that's wrong. I just think that we need to be careful what we're putting out there. And remember that what's on the internet is forever. And there are so many ways people can find information about your children, probably even years to come, when they're looking for jobs and meeting new people when they become adults. There's a whole generation of children that their whole life is online because we as parents put it there. And I'm not trying to tell you don't ever post about your children. It's just a thought, some food for thought, to think really hard about what you're posting about them. And, on the other hand, if you're not posting those negative things, if you're not posting those mom struggles, everything looks rosy. And I think that's another social media problem that we have to contend with. Well, and on that note, it's okay to be real. I think it's okay to be real about those struggles, but you still should just think about doing it in a way where you're still respecting your child's privacy and not exposing them in a way that may harm them later. When I was writing the notes for this, I thought about this YouTube mom, I'm not going to say her name here, but who has gotten in a lot of trouble with social media and with the social media world for rehoming her adopted child. If you don't know about that, just Google search that and you'll see. She probably struggled with that reality of being real but not exposing your child's private moments. That's something that you need to consider. Y'all, don't ever post a picture of your child in the bathtub. Ever. Don't do it. Don't post pictures of your children in their underwear. This drives me nuts. Y'all, you don't know where the predators are. They could be down the street. They could be in your inbox. I've had messages before that were very creepy about my children, which is why I've decided to be very cautious about what I post of my children online. It's scary. I have talked to a friend from college who used to be an investigator for people who enjoyed looking at those type of things. And that's the number one thing she says. That's one of the things she touts when she sees someone do that is do not post a picture like that. Those are pictures people are looking for. And would you post a picture of yourself in the bathtub? Even if everything's all covered? No, you wouldn't. And if you do, well, all right, go. Whatever. That's a child. They didn't consent to that. We've just got to protect our children. We are living in the wild, wild west of the internet. And we need to protect our kids. And before you post a picture of your kids online, ask yourself, what will they think of this in 5 years, in 10 years? Because it's all still going to be there. I also want to just kind of note that to think about these kids that have grown up on TV, I know it's different than social media, but look at the Goslin kids. Look at the Teen Mom kids. they've grown up knowing that people know who they are. And time will tell what that really looks like. The Duggars, you have one of the daughters who's trying to make her own way, and at every turn, she's gonna have to explain herself because people know who she is. And while most of us are not in that position and we're not super famous, people need to make their own impressions of you. What you post online of your children changes the impression people are going to have of them. There have been a few times where we have encountered someone that I know and that I'm friends with on Facebook, but my children don't necessarily know, or they haven't seen in a long time. And they'll say, "Oh, I saw y'all went to the beach last weekend. How was that?" And the kids are like, "What? How did you know that?" And I know they know it from Facebook, but it's a weird feeling to know that your reputation precedes you before you had a chance to make one on your own. Just some food for thought, something that's been on my heart for a while, and I hope that you'll take it into consideration. We'll see you next time. Bye.